In this lesson, we're going to focus on Excel formulas. Specifically, I want to touch on a few formulas that I found helpful in my day-to-day work. The 4 formulas shown here can be very versatile if used correctly. Concatenate offers a way to join values from 2 or more cells and combine them into a single cell. The sum formula can take a range of cells and add them up. If does exactly what it sounds like. You give it a true or false comparison and tell it what to display for each case. Vlookup allows you to pull out specific information when given a key, but we'll come back to that one. For now, let's go into Excel and demonstrate concatenate, sum, and if. As you may already know, to tell Excel that you're going to be inserting a function, you first need to type the equals sign. This lets Excel know it will need to calculate what comes next. As you start typing, Excel uses predictive text to help you select which function you're going to use, which is helpful for functions with long names like concatenate. Once the function you want to use is highlighted, simply tap Tab and the rest of the function name is auto-completed. Once you have your function name typed out, you can see what values Excel is expecting. With concatenate, Excel is expecting some kind of text. We're going to combine our students' first and last names into one cell. So let's go ahead and do that right now. This student's first name is in cell A2, last name cell B2. Enter. As you can see, you really have to be specific with functions because Excel doesn't assume anything. Since there is no space between the first and last name here, we'll need to edit the formula and add a space in between the first and last names. So all we need to do is double click on the cell, add a space surrounded by quotation marks. When it comes to the parameters used by concatenate, it will read anything inside quotes literally. As you can see here, this works. The next function we're going to go over is the sum function. As you can see here, this formula adds up every single cell to get this student's total score. That's definitely one way to do it, but if I insert a column, my formula will need to be edited as it doesn't include this column. With the sum function, you don't need to specify each individual cell. Instead, we type sum, and you can click and drag the cells that you want to include in your formula, which tells the function to add up every cell in this range. Now, if I add a column and add a value here, and the function is automatically updated. The if function works exactly as it sounds. As you can see by the text here, the first parameter Excel is expecting is a comparison that will result in a true or a false. Then we'll need to put what we want if that test comes out as true, and finally we'll need something for false. So here we're going to mention if this student passed or failed. So if their overall score is greater than, we'll say, 65. That's a pass. If it's less than 65, it's a fail. As I mentioned before, formulas can be nested inside other formulas, so you can imagine how complex some if statements can get. Now, the last function we're going to talk about is Vlookup. Vlookup is meant to work on data that's organized into columns. The V in Vlookup actually stands for vertical. You first give it a value to start from, or look up. In this example, we want to look up the value in the cell H3. Then we need to give the function a table where it can find this value. In our example, the specified value has to be in that first column, or column A. Third, we need to tell the function which column holds our target value. In this case, our target value is in the third column of our table. Lastly, Vlookup needs to know if we're looking for an approximate match or an exact match. You'll almost always want to return an exact match, which is what the 0 means. So let's go back to Excel and write our own function. So up here in the top right, I have a student's name and an assignment. My goal here is to find this student's score for this assignment. Once I type in my function name, I get these hints, like always, to help me figure out what parameters I need to enter. So first I need my lookup value. Now for us, that's going to be the student's name, which is in this cell right here, cell S1. Next, I need to specify my table where this information is stored. Now remember, the lookup value must be the first column in this table. So my table here is going to start right here in column A and go all the way over here. Then I need to tell the function which column my target data is in. So counting from my lookup value, assignment 6 is going to be column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And finally, we want an exact match, so we want 0. And there we go. Jimmy scored a 10 on assignment number 6. So now, just like with the sum function, I can change some of my data and this function will automatically update. So if I change the lookup value, if I change the student's name to Tina, we can see Tina's score for assignment 6. And we can see Rudy's as well. Be sure to try your hand at the formula sheet of our project, and I'll see you in the next lesson.